Shutter Island. Shutter Island starring Leonardo DiCaprio. This film poster is very dark. The background of the film poster is utter blackness. This can connote that the film is going to be dark, and you cannot see the plot as it comes with all the plot twists. It also connotes being lost, as you are not able to see what is behind DiCaprio. You only see DiCaprio's face as his lighter lights him up, so he will be able to see what is going on at the island. The flame draws your eye because it's the only thing that has much colour in it, and is one of the things that's creating light in the poster. It is used to create suspense as DiCaprio's character is holding up to his face, which connotes that he cannot see very well, and this could be taken from a particular scene in the film. DiCaprio's face also looks very confused, connoting that he does not know what is going on at the island, so he has to find out because he is a detective. The use of DiCaprio's face is because it creates interest in the film, as he is an A-list celebrity, meaning that he is very famous, so if people see his face on the film poster, they know that it's going to be a good film because DiCaprio is a good actor, so people will automatically connote that it's going to be a good film. The bottom half of the film poster is the setting of the film. It is the island. It is Shutter Island, the name of the film. This is used to set the movie, so people know where the film is going to be set, and where gives them some basic background knowledge for the film. The island part of the poster has the lighthouse in front of the L and A in the title of the front poster. You can see the lighthouse and how the light is the only thing that has much colour in it, and so it draws your eyes to it, so you can connote the lighthouse is going to be an important part of the film, where maybe some important scenes might happen, such as a murder or a death. The general display of the poster is very dark and gloomy, so the main colours of the film poster are black and grey, which is meant to draw the audience's eyes to the brighter parts of the poster, like the flame or the lighthouse. It does not show much of the plot of the film. It shows that DiCaprio is the main character of the film, but it does not tell much about the film. Also, the island is silhouetted, so you do not see much of it. The title of the film is also in grey, so it stands out against the background. DiCaprio's name is above the title, and that makes people want to see the film because they know he's again Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's an A-list actor. The tagline beneath it, "Some places never let you go," is supposed to create fear because it connotes that if you go to this island, you will never leave. The colour of it is in red, so it connotes blood and danger, which gets the audiences interested in the film, as it creates suspense, and this is what people want from a thriller film, and that's what they go to see. Film 2, Sin City. This film poster is predominantly in black and white, except for the movie title. This is done to create a monotone atmosphere about the poster. It is also used to reflect that the movie is shot in black and white. This helps to show the audience that the film is going to be in black and white, and not to mislead them into thinking something differently. The poster is very dark. This shows that the atmosphere of the film, and this is so the audience know it's going to be very dark. It connotes that the film's going to be darker, along with the fact that most of them are also holding guns and weapons, which are very violent and action-packed, and most you expect in dark thriller movies, because people are going to die. This shows that it's going to be a dark and action-filled movie because the characters are pointing their guns all in different directions, meaning that a lot of people are going to die because they're pointing in a lot of different directions. Another thing to note from the film poster is that the main protagonist, Bruce Willis, is in the centre of the poster. This makes you connote that he is the main protagonist because of the way he is centralised in the poster, so your eyes are drawn towards him. The costumes of all the characters on the poster connect with the dark atmosphere because they're all wearing very dark, black gothic clothing. That it connotes that they are goth, and also that they're going to kill people because of how dark they are, and how dark connotes death and all that, and the Grim Reaper kind of wears the same kind of outfits. The audience can connote that Bruce Willis's character is dangerous because of his scars on his face. This part of his costume makes him look like he's been part of a fight, Also the way he's holding a gun and is pointing it down. So it can connote that he is about to kill someone who's on the floor below him. And makes him seem like he has more power, so he's the main protagonist, he's the main character, so he has more power in the film. The title of the film poster, Sin City, is in big red capital, red letters. This makes it stand out. The red colours of the title stands out against the black and white background. The red colour also connotes blood because red is the colour of bloods. This increases the suspense of the film, and also red connotes violence, so you can connote that it's going to be a lot of action in it and suspense, but it can also connote that there's going to be a love interest in the film, because love also connotes love because of like roses and stuff like that, Valentine's, which you associate with red, such as the colour of the heart, which might connect to the more female side of the audience. Underneath the title of the film, it says directors of the film. But underneath, there is Quentin Tarantino's name. That is another way of making people excited for the film, as Tarantino is a very well-known director, who on average makes good films that people like. So if the audience sees his name underneath the title, the audience can connote that there's going to be a good film that they enjoy. And also they put it there because he's more well known than the directors of the film, because in general more people know Quentin Tarantino than the other directors, so it's going to get more of a viewing. Also, the rain in the background creates suspense, as rain can also connote death, because usually during death scenes or like graveyard scenes, it adds a emotional dimension to the poster, and you know that people are going to die because graveyards is where dead people go, and because rain, you usually see rain at a graveyard scene where people are dead and you've got the umbrellas up. Below Bruce Willis's character, you can see part of the poster that does not fit in with the rest of it. It appears to be a man walking down the street. The audience cannot really see the man, so it creates a suspense, and because the audience is left to guess who that man is, because he is very silhouetted against the background, little is shown to show the audience who he is. So it creates interest and makes the audience want to watch the movie to find out, who the man is, and it just creates general interest in the film. Film 3, 7. This film poster connects a lot with the other film posters, as the background of it is very black and dark. From my research, I found that the usual conventions of thriller film posters are that they are very black or even very dark or even black backgrounds that do not show much about the film. Then you have the main characters as the centre of the poster. They can vary in regards to the characters being protagonists or antagonists. As for example, in the 7 poster, both Brad Pitt's character and Morgan Freeman's character are shown, and like Shutter Island, only their faces are shown. This is to create an atmosphere of mystery and suspense, because the audience are not able to see their bodies and what they are doing. The audience only sees their faces and attention, and is attracted to their eyes because they are staring directly at the film. And the way they are staring at the camera creates fear, because it looks like they are staring at their bodies or a crime. Just because the way their eyes are staring right at the camera makes it like they've been terrified, they've been mortified because they've just seen a dead body. And like for example, it connects with the film 7 because they see dead bodies all the time because of the 7 deadly sins. Their faces are not very light, so the lighting is very dark, so they look very mysterious, and they are like, which connects to the film as it is about the 7 deadly sins, so it connects to the film about the audience being very dark, and attracts the type of audience who are mainly men who like the dark atmosphere of thriller films. The title of the film, which is put in at the bottom centre, so the audience can have like the whole look at the whole page, is written in a very jagged and uneven text. It can connote blood or like the mind of a serial killer, as it is uneven and not normal. This connects to the film, so it creates fear because it looks deadly. The colour of the text is red, which connotes blood and violence, which creates suspense because blood can infer murder. The caption of the title, Seven Deadly Sins, 7 Ways to Die, creates fear and gives a general idea of what the film's going to focus on because of how it's related to the 7 deadly sins. So the audience can get a general idea of the overview of the film, and also creates fear because you know that there is going to be death scenes, but you do not know who is going to die. Also below the title of the poster, you can see 7 etchings below, which can also infer the 7 deadly sins. At the top of the poster, above the heads, there are also names of Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman. This is used to attract audiences because they are both very famous actors. They are A-list actors, meaning that they're going to be good actors. People will infer that this will be a good movie, and it advertises the film to the audience. Also, the etches at the bottom of the screen can be like from a knife, or as you see in the prison cells, so he's a criminal. Between the faces of the characters, the 7 deadly sins are displayed. This helps the audience know what the 7 deadly sins are, if they didn't know them already, which helps them to get more interested into the film. Beneath Morgan Freeman's head, there is a review of the film from a film reviewer. This is meant to show the audience that this is going to be a good film and that they will like, and it has good reviews, showing that other people will like it. The background and lighting of the film poster is also very dark, which infers that the film is going to be, as you say, dark, and also connects with the symbolism of the film. Because the 7 deadly sins connects with hell and the devil, the darkness of the background also makes it so mysterious that you'll not be able to see the plot or even the locations of the film, unlike per se the Shutter Island poster. So it leaves the audiences guessing about where the film's going to take place, and making them want to learn more about the film. So it creates an atmosphere of mystery and confusion, and it's just a generally dark poster which reflects on the 7 deadly sins because there's evil from the Bible and biblical times. Film 4, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. This film poster is very dark. The main focal point of the poster is Colin Firth's character. He's presented in a very dark lighting from beneath, which makes you know that this character is going to be very dark and solitary and mysterious. This poster goes with the conventions of thriller film posters, as it features the main protagonist of the film as the centre of the poster. His character picture is but one of the things that goes against conventions of other thriller film posters is that his character picture is different, as it is filled with different numbers and letters. This connotes that there's some kind of code. This is different because the poster is predominantly made of these codes. This can infer that it's going to be some kind of spy movie, as also in the title of the film it says spy. Because codes connote spying and espionage and intelligence. You can also see different words on the poster which the audience can infer that is related to the plot of the film. Colin Firth's face is made out of these codes, so it infers that he is a spy himself. Again, in the poster, the main protagonist's face is the only thing that's presented. This is used to show nothing else and nothing to hint to the plot. This creates hype for the film, as it does not reveal much about the plot, so the audience is more inclined to see it because they're more drawn in to it, because they love to guess and come up with ideas of what the film's going to be like. The colour scheme of the film poster is also very dark, the main colours being black, grey, white and red. These colours can reflect the film because it's about spying and soldiers and just general violence and action, and involves being very secretive and living in the dark. The code line are put into the background are black and black background, and the colours on the code, and it forms a picture of Colin Firth. The title of the film is coloured in red, which makes it stand out compared to the darker background. This catches the audience's eyes. The colour of it, red, connotes blood and violence because of blood being red, and violence meaning that people will get hurt and they will bleed out blood, which is red. So know that there's going to be a death scene or multiple death scenes in the film. That this will make it more attractive through male audiences, because stereotypically men like violence, and action in the media, whilst women prefer romance and talking. Below the title, there are all the names of the actors who are in the film. It is a very star-studded cast. For example, Colin Firth, Benedict Cumberbatch and John Hurt, who are all big Hollywood names, meaning that it creates even more hype for the film because of all the A-list actors in it, which most of the audience most of the audience will know about because, you know, they're in some really famous films. This would increase the number of people going to see the film. On the shirt of the guy, on the shirt of Colin Firth, is on the code that part of it is red. This is Colin Firth's name. This stands out of the red coat because of the red coding. This makes the audience infer that the character is Colin Firth. So if they did not know already, plus it gives some context because, and you know, makes it connote that he's going to be the main character, his protagonist. Because if he's on the poster, he's going to be important. It means he's going to be important. Film 5, Dark Knight Rises. This film poster's colour scheme is very dark. The main colour of the film poster is black. This connotes that this connects with the film, like The Dark Knight, because it connects with his costume, which is also black. Orange is also used, which provides lighting to the image and makes it stand out compared to the black outlines. This can be said that there's a mixture of red and yellow because of the flames. This infers that there's going to be violence and also connects with the text at the top of the poster, "A fire will rise," meaning it is the Dark Knight / Batman who is rising from the ashes. The text is in white and bold because it stands out on the black background and draws the audience's attention, which makes them know that the film is going to be about Batman. The colours used also complement each other because they do not get lost in the image and stand out against each other. It takes its position at the top of the film. This means that it doesn't draw the audience's eyes away from the main image of Batman, who is the main protagonist. Because he's the centre film, everybody knows Batman, he's in popular culture, everybody knows him. Him being in the poster increases hype for the film. The main image is off-centre. By doing this, the image captures the audience's eye. So it stands out because, you know, you have to tilt your head slightly to actually see the poster. The title of the film, The Dark Knight Rises, is in bold, white text, which is also capitalised. This makes it stand out in the poster because most people will not ordinarily see like uncapitalised standard like text. They'll see like if it's in bold and big, it draws their attention. It is also placed in front of the iconic bat symbol, which pushes it off the page, giving it an almost 3D effect. So it captures the audience's eyes and makes them more interested. It being in front of the bat symbol makes people know that this is going to be a Batman movie, and increases, you know, more hype for the film. As again, Batman is popular culture. Batman is put at a high angle position. This makes it so he's in a tough and strong position, because Batman is seen as being a tough guy, a symbol of justice and vigilantes. He's got armor on. He is a real tough guy. He beats up criminals for a living. He goes out at night. He's portrayed like he's going to be in the movie, which people love. He's positioned in front of a bunch of buildings that are shaped like the bat symbol, which is on fire. This is very powerful imagery of Batman, as both older and younger generations would recognise it. And it just makes it stand out even more because it looks like he's standing from the buildings. He's standing on rooftops, meaning that, you know, he's high up and he's just majestic. And it just makes him stand out a lot more because older and younger, because this new reinvention of Batman will make it so even the older people like it because they remember the good old days of Adam West and Michael Keaton, those kind of Batmans. And this trying to reinvent his image as being more of a badass instead of just, you know, just being a man in like tights just running about. Thank you. This is Toro Productions. Thank you for watching this video. This is poster research. Thank you for watching.